My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Mamdani, thank you to the man whose leadership I seek most to emulate, who I am so grateful to be sworn in by today, Senator Bernie Sanders. All right, 35 seconds. Is there more? Is that... Oh my God, did he dress the same way during the inauguration? Who's the inauguration? Is it Trump? No. Okay. All right, let's listen to this.
Thank you to the two titans who, as an assembly member, I've had the privilege of being represented by in Congress, Nidia Velasquez and our incredible opening speaker, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You have paved the way for this moment. Thank you to the man whose leadership I seek most to emulate, who I am so grateful to be sworn in by today, Senator Bernie Sanders. Thank you.
What was I gonna say? What? Oh, there are some stuff, some wording, okay? The same way, the same tactic that happened in the UK, where they start spreading misinformation, where they're saying, oh, leave the New York City. New York City is bad. Don't get me wrong. Not every place is 100% safe. I'm not gonna tell people to come to New York and do things and then, God forbid, something happen. I do not know what's in everybody's mind. But they start spreading misinformation because these MAGAs did not get the people that they wanted to win the mayor race, whatever. But they're saying Sharia laws, that's gonna happen. He doesn't make the law. People need to understand the system in the US, from local, state, and national. The federal government. The mayor does not make the law. Okay? All right, so I went to Google. Do mayors make laws in the USA? No. Mayors in the USA don't make laws unilaterally. That's typical the role of a city council or legislative body, but mayors significantly influence local laws, ordinances, by proposing them, setting agendas, signing or vetoing past measures, and enforcing them as a chief executive. Okay? You could go and look. Anything that these people are saying, just Google it. Mayors do not make the law. This is what part of the democracy. It's spread out. Different people have different roles. So they start spreading misinformation. Oh, because he won the mayor race, and he's the mayor of New York City, and I don't know his background. What is it? Middle Eastern or something like that. Let me look it up. What is his background? Mamdani background. I should say nationality. Okay. Upbringing in Kampala, Uganda, and South Africa, leading a strong... Okay, Mamdani's background. Okay, so there's all of this. But whatever it may be, the misinformation that they were spreading, he's gonna create Sharia laws and all of that. Okay, to scare people. He does not make the law. All right, let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next tweet. Because the MAGAs, since Trump's first presidency, they've been trying to get control of position of powers, like the governor. When Andrew Cuomo was the governor, they were trying to get him out, which eventually he stepped down. That's a different story. But to get their own people in the position. So this is why they hate the group of people that's in New York, because they're seeing things. They don't go along with the stupid headline. Like Ocasio, who's representative in New York, I think part of Bronx and Queens or something like that. So she's doing the work. People vote for her because she's doing the work. It's not because of her background or she's Hispanic descent or something like that, or Puerto Rican descent or anything. It's because of who she is and what she's doing. All right, so let's leave that alone. Next week, USA, she's spot on. That's all right. I didn't listen to this, but I saw it and I wanted to hear it and I wanted to share it with you. She was spot on. Educational moment. Topic: hindsight is 2020. This amazing woman from Harvard Law School knew what she was talking about because she was educated and how to see the signs. Okay, 36 seconds. Let's listen.
Believe me, if Donald Trump is president again, at some point or another, that ugliness will touch all of our lives. And it will not matter what you look like, how you worship, who you love, or how you vote. If you don't make 6 or 8 or 12 figures, if you're not famous, if you criticize or disagree with him in any way, if he doesn't view you as his equal or relevant to his ambitions, I promise you, he will not think about you when he gets into the Oval Office.
Yep, Michelle Obama. I mean, we saw it. There was so many examples, and people were warning so many Americans. And I have to give credit not only to Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, and all of these women and many others, but to get to the other groups who probably should have listened to him is Mark Cuban. Okay, when Trump started talking about how tariff works and things like that, I was mind blowing to see there are some business people in America who didn't take Mark Cuban's word for what it is. I thought they would have understand about tariff. But hey, flowers to all of those people in position of power who did that thing. There's one guy, what's his name? His wife used to work, his ex-wife used to work for the Trump administration. What is his name? But they're not married anymore. Something Conway. Let me pause. Her name is Kelly Conway, but what I need is her husband. Kelly Conway, ex-husband. I hope I remember him. Okay? There was a podcast. They're not married anymore. Okay? He's a lawyer. There was a podcast I was listening to. I have great respect for him, but he's a Republican, okay? And that podcast, that was leading up to the 2024 election. He's very rich, so he was donating, whatever, how would you call it, funding and helping those other groups who were against Trump administration and all of that. One of the things I remember saying, listening to him saying, and that particular podcast is that he was, what's the term? He was investing. He was investing in his kids' future. I think he had a talk with his kids. I think he has a son and a daughter, right? Education, children. Okay, he has many. All right, so he was saying something that he's like, his kids, I'm paraphrasing, okay? I remember exactly where I was when I was listening to him. I was at the gym listening to a podcast, and he said he saw that his kids will be fine, their trust fund or whatever, financially his kids will be fine. But he was doing some of the things that he was doing, investing in his kids' future to have a better life, because Trump was not the right fit for the position. And he's a Republican, okay? When I heard him said that, I had great respect for him. I was like, wow. All right, so that's that. I don't remember his name. What's his name? George Conway. His wife used to work for the Trump administration, and I can't believe, I don't know, I guess because of the wife's stance on politics, I don't know what caused them to let me see. What caused Kellyanne Way to, okay, divorce her ex-husband? What? Let's see here. Kelly and George Conway divorce announced in 2023 stemmed primarily from their deep political, exactly that, deep political disagreement over Donald Trump, with George becoming a vocal critic and Kelly Conway's staunch defender, creating immense strain alongside public scrutiny and differing personal paths. While they cited a mutual decision to prioritize their family and children as a reason for stepping back from public life, their conflicting views on Trump put significant pressure on their 22-year-old marriage. Wow. With Kellyanne feeling her vows were broken by George's public opposition. Wow. Yeah. He has a better standard than her. But anyway, that's that. All right, what did we just listen to? I went off. Okay, Michelle Obama talking, warning the nation what's ahead. But they didn't listen. This is why, one of many reasons why African Americans are taking a step back. So now that defense African American used to put fighting, oh my God, another long video, fighting, preventing some stupid laws to be spreading to the people, and African American used to be the first group to be hit by it, physically, mentally, in every aspect you could think of. Think of about the 60s, the hosing down, the beating, and all of that. African Americans said, you know what? My forefathers have done enough. Now, you didn't want to listen. We warn you. All group of people were warning them, but you didn't listen. So now the defense is gone, and the flood of stupidity, barbaric behavior is passing on. Now many of them are feeling it. Will they still listen? I don't know. I'm very doubtful of it, because those MAGAs, many of them still don't understand. The worst thing that I'm seeing, this is very scary, and I thought many of these young white boys would have understood, but no. But the difference that's going to happen here for those young white boys who's not listening, who's carrying out and showing their MAGA side of them in public, the same kind of, well, not the same, they're going to get the opposite treatment that their grandfathers used to get. Because now African Americans are fighting back. So they got it coming. They better change. All right, so this is the next tweet. This shows the devil of racism. This video is from May 2025. We are much further along as we start 2026. So much of this is already in place. All right, I didn't listen to it, so let's listen. Almost 6 minutes.
I normally do straight history, but history right now is happening right here in front of us, and so let's cover it. The reckoning has begun. If you think this won't affect you, congratulations, you're exactly who it's coming for. Trump voters may keep looking away, but the damage is already here.
Yeah.
That so-called big, beautiful budget, it's not a budget. It's Project 2025 in disguise. A full authoritarian blueprint dressed up as fiscal policy, and it's about to hit you where it hurts. Let's break it down. When disaster strikes, no one's coming. Sections 80307 to 80309/climate resilience and FEMA funding. Floods, wildfire, hurricanes, no federal help.
I think that already happened. Was it North Carolina or South Carolina? One of those areas. People were stranded, no help from the government. But what they got is help from the community. But the kind of help that they used to get, it didn't happen. Let's continue.
Town will burn, drown, or blow away, and all you'll hear is silence. When your healthcare vanishes, that's in the bill too.
It's already happening. In Trump's first presidency, when California had a wildfire, he didn't want to help, but the system was there. There were people who were working with him, who didn't want to get in trouble, who was preventing him, Trump, from ignoring California.
I'm Miles Taylor. I served as the Chief of Staff of the Department of Homeland Security under the Donald Trump administration. I would go into the office, I would read my intelligence brief, and then it was my job to help the Department of Homeland Security to keep our country safe. What we saw week in and week out, and for me after 2.5 years in that administration, was terrifying. We would go in to try to talk to him about a pressing national security issue, cyber attack, terrorism threat. He wasn't interested in those things. To him, they weren't priorities. The president wanted to exploit the Department of Homeland Security for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda. The California wildfires. On a phone call with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, he told FEMA to cut off the money and to no longer give individual assistance to California. He told us to stop giving money to people whose houses had burned down from a wildfire because he was so rageful that people in the state of California didn't support him and that politically it wasn't a base for him. The policies at the border, he wanted to restart zero tolerance and separate families. He said he wanted to go further and have a deliberate policy of ripping children away from their parents to show those parents that they shouldn't come to the border in the first place. A lot of the time, the things he wanted to do not only were impossible, but in many cases illegal. He didn't want us to tell him it was illegal anymore because he knew that there were, and these were his words, he knew that he had magical authorities. He was one of the most unfocused and undisciplined senior executives I've ever encountered. I came away completely convinced based on firsthand experience that the president was ill-equipped and wouldn't become equipped to do his job effectively. And what's worse, was actively doing damage to our security. People who are still serving in this administration have said to me, just wait until the second term. It'll be no holds barred. It'll be shock and awe. We'll do what we want. Given what I've experienced in the administration, I have to support Joe Biden for president. And even though I'm not a Democrat, even though I disagree on key issues, I'm confident that Joe Biden will protect the country. And I'm confident he won't make the same mistakes as this president.
Okay, so let's continue.
Sections 44141, 44122, and 44131 add work requirements for Medicaid. If you miss a form, you lose coverage. If you're in a blue state, your funding gets cut. And veterans, they'll face longer waits, fewer doctors, and less mental health support, while Trump brags about how much he spent at his golf course.
What really gets me as well with people who voted for Trump is some of the people in the military. This is not new, okay? The veteran hospital have been underfunded for so many years, but yet they're still voting for Republican, and Republican been telling us that what's happening here, it's not new. It was written all over, but they voted for them. Let's continue.
Gender-affirming care, banned. Even for those who serve this country, if you're undocumented or simply poor, section 44110, make sure you won't get care either. Your hospital may shut down, and when you need a doctor, you'll find that the service no longer exists. And your grocery bill, that's going up too.
From those rural areas, I think these are already happening. Some hospitals close. I don't know. I mean, the Republican did it systematically to close those, what do you call those hospitals that help women, but the Republican frame it as if it's doing abortion. How do they call this? Oh my God, I hate when I'm recording, I forgot certain terms or names or something like that. Parenthood, okay? Parenthood made that lady rest in peace. I think she died, was it earlier this year or last year? So they frame Parenthood as if it's only doing abortion, when in fact it was a woman health care that provide all sort of health care for women. But they put nonsense in those people's brain as if it's only doing abortion, and a lot of doctors have been killed by these mental ill people who listen to what the Republicans said. But meanwhile, it was a way to start closing those places to kill Americans. Kills American, meaning that you shut down the hospital. Women who need help cannot go get help. Not too long ago, I was watching a TikTok video that was on YouTube where this white woman had some issues similar to when Oprah had this town hall meeting where this woman, an African American, who passed away because the doctors were afraid to perform certain things, routine operation, because the way the politician framed certain bills that will criminalize doctors. So all they had to do was, to do the operation, and that woman would have been fine. But because they were afraid, the doctors were afraid from being criminalized for operating on the woman, and they will frame it as if he killed the baby and all of that. So they just let the woman die. Okay? Oprah had highlighted on a town hall meeting. Not too long ago, I was watching a white woman who, I think she said she voted for Trump, who went almost the same thing as that African American who passed on the town hall meeting was talking about. And she was explaining her ordeal and things like that. How could this happen? And I'm looking at her on my TV. I'm like, this is not new. How am I supposed to feel for you when literally the exact same thing that happened to her happened to that lady who passed away? I don't remember her name, where Oprah had highlighted. So many of these people will never get it until it hit them. And I don't know if she got it or not, but whatever. Let's continue. I talk too much, my God.
Trump's tariffs combined with the cuts to food assistance in sections 10008 and 10012 mean higher prices for produce, gas, and everyday goods. And yes, the neighborhood could lose their SNAP benefits at age 64. What about the institutions holding your town together? Section 50002 and 50003, gut funding and oversight. Say goodbye to your pharmacy, post office, or bank, and don't expect anyone to fix it. Then there's your job. Sections 90004 through 90006 allow a massive civil service purge. You could be fired and replaced with an unqualified loyalist, and your pension slashed. Education not spared. Section 30061 bans DEI programs. Your daughter's school will stop teaching critical thinking and start teaching obedience. If she's not white, wealthy, or male, she's left behind. And
there's something I highlighted in one of my videos, and I also shared it on my community board. It's a platform for African Americans. I forgot the name of it. If I see it, I'll probably put it on the screen for you to check it out. It's an app you could download and, get the kind of education your kids will need. All of this, I don't know. It's not new. It is not new. They've been telling us, but those people will refuse to listen. And it's gonna get worse. Those people is gonna be more dumb than they already are. Okay, let's continue.
Books gone. The federal government will now decide what's woke and erase anything inconvenient, especially your history. Energy protections were repealed. Sections 42108 and 42301 dismantled the clean air laws, opening the door for wildfires, blackouts, and toxic pollution. Your 401k, don't get comfortable. Wall Street doesn't like chaos, and this bill delivers plenty. Markets will tank, and your retirement fund will go with it. Section 20001 escalates Indo-Pacific conflict. Trump lights the match, and your kid gets the draft notice. Section 44125 removes the LGBTQ protections and access to care. Gay, trans, and non-binary Americans denied services, expelled from school, pushed out of public life. And while billionaires get MAGA-branded savings accounts, you can't even file your taxes for free. They're cutting food, healthcare, and education to fund tanning bed tax breaks. They even slashed child tax credits and funding for childcare. You're expected to work more with less help and higher cost. Your community center closed. Your summer programs cut. Sections 41009 and 80301 wipe out block grants, historic preservation, and public parks. The professionals who make government work fired. Section 90004
And all of this is a way for them to grab those land too. All right.
to 90006, dismantle civil service protections. Scientists, disaster coordinators, public health experts, replaced by political hacks who do whatever they're told. Section 44001 bans states from regulating AI, education, tech, or data privacy for 10 years. That means your state can't protect you from tech giants even if it wants to. And just in case you were hoping someone, somewhere might hold power accountable, Sections 50002 and 5003 and 80121 got oversight agencies, the people who catch fraud, investigate pollution, and monitor corporate crime. They're being shut down. Even states that expanded Medicaid.
Why do you think they want to get rid of that? Because they're going to commit it. They don't want people to catch them. I mean, in a way, wow, there was so many warning leading up to that Project 25. So many African American go on their platform warning people. But when Trump is talking about it, it's like he doesn't know anything about it. Oh my God. I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
Get penalized under the section 44131. If your governor tried to help you, this bill punishes them for it. And Trump said it himself. I have the right to do whatever I want. This bill gives him that power using your tax dollars. This is not a warning. This is happening. It's theft wrapped in a flag. It's censorship, cruelty, control, and collapse. Call your senators at 202-224-3121. Tell them this isn't patriotism. It's pillage. And if you've been silent, now is the time to speak. Because very soon, this won't be about politics. This will be about survival. Crazy. Peace out.
All right, so that's that. I'm not even going to go in the comment. I don't even know what to say. The warning was there. People were putting videos out there. Project 25 and all. They didn't listen. They actually were cheering for him. So there's another video here. Let's see here. Peeps, there's a heart here. I agree with everything this guy is saying. Listening to Trump speak is cringe and cringy. Nothing he says makes sense. And not to mention his ugly voice with his ugly smirk on his face makes me want to throw up. He's full of shit. All right. One does about him. All right. So it's almost 3 minutes. Let's listen. Screenshot, okay?
I don't know how the fuck anybody can listen to that shit. I just tried because it was on in the background. I just tried to listen to some of that, whatever the fuck that was, that Trump was, I don't know if he was talking about Hanukkah or Iran or how much he loves Israel. It's just always a fucking babbling brook of sheer insanity, just meandering bullshit. And you got a room full of fucking people.
I
know. It is the most pathetic, fucking embarrassing, humiliating, repulsive shit I've ever had to fucking endure. And like when I listen to him, it's just like I cannot wrap my head around how there are people that are like, yeah, dude, he's playing with a full deck, like 9 million D chess. He's so smart. And he's up there. Hanukkah was begun in the oppressive. Well, they were very oppressive. We had a president, if he was scooching up to Iran, would have been very different. Drones are good. They're not as good as fighter jets. We got the best fighter jets, and we blowing up drones, but we like drones. BB Netanyahu. What the fuck are you even attempting to talk about? What in the fuck? If you look at other presidential addresses or speeches throughout the entirety of the history of the United States, it is clear, cogent fucking speeches with a point, with a goddamn destination. And Trump just goes up there and just fucking vomits. Blah, 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 blah. And then to have this room full of people, these are the same motherfuckers that the second he's gone are going to be like, we never, and it was just hard, because like it was the climate, the political climate of all these, and we couldn't do it because he was so scary. Fuck these people. God damn it, dude. I forget that I have a social media platform from time to time because I see this shit and it just sends me down into a deep, dark hole and I get so fucking angry.
That's why I don't even bother listening to politics. Yeah, it does get you to that point. Yep. Okay, this is not the first time you hear me saying it. I've said it before. Occasionally, I peek in to see what's going on so I don't be in the blind completely. But when you listen to some of the political atmosphere that is happening, this kind of thing could lead you to a full-blown depression. You may not even know you are in that state, but you're going to start talking so harsh for no reason to your kids. And I thank God for that I realized that's what I was doing when I was paying attention to some of the politics that's going on. And I hear myself talking so harsh to my kids. And then I had to take a step back and I was like, why? Why am I talking so hard to them like that when they didn't do anything? And I realized, oh, I just watched this video about this, about that. And I took a step back. He is 100% correct.
And then I crawl out and I'm like, you know what? I think things are fine. I need to shift my focus onto something else. And then I see this shit. It just creeps its way in. This infectious disease that is this administration. It finds its way into my world. And when I witness it, my God, dude, my veins burst with fucking hatred and fury. I can't say the things that I want to say about this administration on this fucking platform, on the internet. Merry fucking Christmas. Love y'all so much.
Well, I'm kind of glad it's him who's talking about it because African American have said in so many different shape or form. I'm glad it's a white man who's talking about it. All right, any comments? All right, so there's some comments. Let me just focus on the videos, okay? I have one more after this one. All right, what is this about? Okay, I only read the caption and then I decided to put it. Every MAGA Nazi who slipped into this woman's DMs hoping to talk with her is met with the same response. 16 seconds.
Guys, it's been a week since I joined Instagram and the conservative men are already in my DMs like, we disagree, but up, no buts. You're fugly, you're a bigot, you're a loser, and I don't fucking like you. How about you go blow Bubba or some shit? Fuck off.
Okay, I didn't expect that. I didn't listen to it. People are laughing. Then some of the comments. All right, this is my last one. This video, I did a long record. It's almost an hour. It's gonna have two parts. The first part is gonna focus on some of the things that happened. They talk about Meghan, and this part is about the US politics. Okay, this is the last tweet. White people considered black eyed peas animal food, which means they considered it food for black slaves, but they did not know the importance of the peas that black people kept from them. All right, 1 minute and 26 seconds.
Black eyed peas on New Year's. Now that's a black tradition. We out here manifesting prosperity and a fresh start because this bean has carried us through drought, slavery, and emancipation. They were domesticated in West Africa 3,000 years ago. They older than Jesus, y'all. They were important to African farming systems because they could grow in dry climates with little water. And even in bad climates, they made the soil richer, which made it easier to plant other crops. The bean itself is high protein, so it's good for us, while the leaves and stems were used to feed the animals. And it could be stored for long periods of time, so when we had droughts, we still have food. So it should come at no surprise. The black-eyed peas are what was brought onto the slave ship as they moved us across the Atlantic Ocean. They were cheap, nutritious, and easy to store, and very literally kept many of our ancestors barely alive. The ancestors that survived that journey continue to grow black-eyed peas in the Americas. Sometimes slaves had small plots of land where they could grow their own food. We grew black-eyed peas next to our sweet potatoes and greens, but plantation owners never grew them on a large scale because they sold them as animal food. Unlike Africans, the white people fed the animals the stem, the leaves, and the bean. So when the Civil War broke out and all them plantations got burned, guess what didn't? Black-eyed peas were one of the only crops left growing in the South. So freedom for us, it looked like growing more black-eyed peas on our own farms, on our own time. Black-eyed peas and the people who have preserved its existence are some of the most resilient this planet has ever seen.
All right, while he's talking about this, you know what came to mind? All right, I think in Haiti, you know what? Let me go do another video. I have 3 tweets regarding Haiti, so let me go do that. that video is gonna appear. That tweet that I'm thinking of is this. All right. So I think during January 1st, they create this kind of soap. It's like a tradition. So I'm gonna do a video about that. So thank you for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.